Hi, I'm Allison. I'm a reading specialist and I help parents whose kids are struggling with reading. In this video, I'm going to share some signs to look for if you're trying to figure out if your child has a reading disability or some kind of reading problem. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, make sure to do that now, and then also hit the little bell so that you're notified every time I post a brand new video for parents who are helping their kids with reading. All right, now before I dive into these signs and things to look for, I want to say first and foremost that I cannot tell from the internet if your child has a reading disability, right? So this is something that you would want to make sure that you bring up with their school or you have them evaluated for. However, what I can tell you are some signs to look for that might help you know if testing is something that you should pursue. So let's talk about those signs. Sign number one is having a lot of trouble learning the letters, just the alphabet and the letter sounds. Now, whether your child is currently having trouble learning the alphabet and the sounds, or they previously had trouble when they were learning it, that is an indication that there might be a problem. Now, some kids just take longer than others to learn the alphabet and no big deal. But if your child has had a lot of instruction and a lot of practice and it still is not or was not clicking, that is one sign that there may be a reading issue. All right, the second set of signs to look for has to do with sounding out words. So when your child is trying to sound out words, is it very difficult for them? Like maybe they know the sounds of the individual letters or the letter combinations, but actually putting the sounds together to make a word, is that difficult for them? That could be a sign. Another signal is if a child is sounding out the same words over and over and over again, even though they've had opportunities to practice them, it's just not sticking with them. These are both potential signs of a reading issue. Other signs are that maybe your child is avoiding reading, even if it's about a topic that you'd think that they would normally enjoy, or consistently reading below grade level. Like your child's teacher is always saying, well, they're just a little bit or a lot of it below grade level. It doesn't have to be that they're like way below or totally failing. They could still have a reading disability and they're consistently reading below grade level, even if it's not by a lot. Now let's talk about some signs that aren't necessarily related to like reading, but are related. So number one, difficulty with spelling. If a child has trouble like hearing the sounds in the words and spelling them correctly, and or spelling words that are regularly spelled, like just remembering those words even though they've had lots of instruction, that could be another sign. Another sign could be that they have difficulty with rhyming. Maybe it's not that you're working on rhyming with them now, but when they were younger, they had trouble, understanding what rhyming was, maybe hearing rhymes, coming up with rhymes. That could be another sign as well. Your child also might experience other language-related difficulties, not necessarily like being able to pronounce words because that's more of an articulation issue, but like being able to understand directions that you're telling them. Maybe they confuse similar words that sound kind of the same, even though you've already explained the difference to them. And maybe they're just like not totally understanding what you're telling them all the time. This could also be a sign of a reading problem. And then another one I'm going to mention is difficulty remembering numbers, whether that's something that your child struggled with in the past or struggle with now. That can also be a sign of a reading issue, even though that is something that has to do with math. If these signs sounded kind of like your child, or even if a couple of them sounded like your child, number one, don't panic, but number two, you do want to take action right away. And the reason for this is because the research shows that when we help out kids, when we give them extra reading support when they're younger, it is much faster and easier for them to catch up than if we just say, we'll put it off, we'll wait and see. What happens is if we wait and see, it can take kids 4 times as long to catch up if they ever catch up. So we want to address it as early as possible, right? Give them that extra help. So a great next step would be for you to download my free guide. I will include the link to this in the caption for this video. Again, it's totally free. And what you're going to do is you're going to give your child just a couple of simple spelling and reading tasks. And then based upon those tasks, based upon how they do, this guide will tell you exactly what skills to work on with them. And it will also tell you, based upon their age, if they've mastered the phonics skills that they should know, the skills that are going to get them reading. So the link to this will be in the caption for you to download. Again, it's totally free. You want to take action right away. This is not something we want to put off. I hope that this video was helpful. If you have any questions, I am happy to answer them. Feel free to leave a question in the comment and I will get back to you. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.